In the last video, we saw how to implement image slider. So this is the one we implemented in the last video. Right now we'll see how to implement the rest of the features. We need to implement left right controls, then bottom squares, and then zoom effect. So the end result will be like two squares and two triangles, two controls left and right, and we'll have a list of squares that represent the number of images, and it will have controls like you can go directly to the image. Okay, we'll see how to implement left right controls. We need to implement the arrow keys in slider view. We will make use of border property to implement the triangle. So it's an interesting thing. So arrow left. Where is our arrow left classes? Height, width. Excuse me. So this is our this is the page which we are building right now. This is the completed project. So here we have a square. This is what this is the output of what we did with the CSS here. Okay, let's make its position as absolute. Before that, we need to make this position as relative, because as we are having all the elements, all the children inside, most of the children has I believe at least 3 as absolute. It's important to have the parent as its parent as relative. Okay, here we can, to bring it to the middle, we have to add top 50%, and to bring the arrow to right, we need to add right 0, right? Yes. And so we have everything in the correct positions. Let's add border. Let's add it here. Border 20 pixels, solid blue. So we are able to see blue borders around the elements, right? Let's see what's happening why do we have, let's see what's happening inside this border. Left, border left, I think. Let's give a color. So borders by default is looking like something like a bunch of rectangles, right? So what if we hide all other rectangles and keep only the right side of the border, right? So that's what we are going to do here. We just will make everything transparent and have the right one and left one, and remove the background color. Okay. Now we have the controls here. So I hope you understood how to design arrows using borders. Let's keep both in the same color. So we have added styles. We now need to add JavaScript to add controls to the arrows. You can see that the left arrow is blinking, right? It's due to the existing implementation of transition group element. If we add z index to this element, this will go away. You can see it's acting normal. Now let's add controls to the arrows. We'll bind these two methods. We'll create two methods. We'll create two methods and bind these methods to the arrows. Actually, now we have only our slide moves towards the right. It's like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want our slide to move in both directions. In order to do that, we need to introduce additional logic. We can decrement here. We need to check whether flag is less than 0. If flag is less than 0, we can add we need to assign the last element of the images object to the flag, right? So in this case, if flag is -1, we'll have maximum length is 5, right? This image's start length is 5. We'll have 4. Fourth image will be displayed in in the slider. We need to add this logics here. So on click of left arrow, we need to slide the, we need to display left slider, right? We'll add move right here. Left, right. Okay, so on click left, we need to move left. So let's see, first let's see if move left is working. We have lightning. Now we need to have Batman red. Now we need to have flash, reverse flash. So move left is perfectly working. Okay, what should happen when our array left is invoked, right? We need to first clear the timer. So otherwise what will happen is when we click it, the image will move towards the left, and then immediately the existing timer will get invoked, and what is written here is move left, and it will again move the slider to left. So this action is done twice if we click the arrow button. We don't want that to happen. So in order to, I hope you understand what I'm saying. So in order to avoid that from happening, we'll introduce a new object. We have it as null travel object. Set interval returns 0. What we'll do is once arrow left is clicked, we'll clear interval and then move left. And then invoke set interval. I hope this is clear why we are doing. So similarly, when we click right, we need to invoke right, then move right. We are invoking right because we need to move the slider immediately, and then we have to repeatedly for an interval of 4 seconds we need to repeatedly move right. In this case, in the case of arrow left, we should move the image repeatedly to the left, and then sequentially we need to move towards the left, right? So in order to accomplish that, we are introducing this this logic here. We can also reduce the number of lines of code here, but it's not in the scope right now. But this is very easier to understand, right? Let's check if this is working. We'll add these methods to the controls. So if we click left, it has to move left, right? So move right is not defined. Arrow right, move right. We need to refer Vuejs objects functions with this object. Okay, let's see if it's working now. you click Batman on the roof, Suicide Squad, Reverse Flash, Suicide Squad, Batman on the roof, Lightning, Batman Red, Lightning, Batman on the roof. So it's working perfectly. The arrows are working perfectly. Now we have to add these squares that indicates number of images, and it also enables us to specifically go to a particular image. We'll add squares. We'll add CSS classes. We can also use SAS here, but I wanted to keep it simple. Right. So if you look at it, we have this have squares here. We can set the position as absolute so that it will be attached to the parent element. Position absolute, and we can set the display to inline block and bottom as 0. Slider. We need to place it here. I placed it inside child components. Now we can move it to the left, right? Excuse me, to the right, 50%. Now everything is just bundled up. You can separate it margin right, like 10 pixels, and you can remove this background, place it here. We are able to see this one. So it's each div tag has like 30 pixels. The width of each div tag is 30 pixels, right? We have 5, so it's 150 pixels. We need to place it at the center. What we can do is we can, so left is like it's calculating 50% from here, so we need to make some adjustments. So I hope it's at the center. It kind of looks at the center, and if you want to make it, if you want to keep it as round, 50%, it's rounding it now, and you you can bind click events to it. Image ID, squares, right? I understand this naming is not very good. So we need to do the same thing here, right? First we need to increment chosen count, right? Since ID is 0 to 4, so it's not a problem here. And then we need to clear the interval and move to the, I think move right will do here. So now we have lightning, Batman red. I understand that it moves from it moves in the descending order. Let's click on flash. So nothing's happening. Let's click on flash. So there is some, okay, we shouldn't have move right here. Should have the just have chosen name. And so we'll click flash, we'll have flash. We click lightning, we have lightning. We'll click Batman red, we have red. So this is working, squares are working. So the pending thing is we need to like this zoom out effect, right? The elements we don't, I think we don't have here. Okay, we need to implement the zoom out effect, like object is moving towards you, towards the user, right? So how to do that is we need to add zoom effect to our image. Okay, in order to add that, we can use animation. We can use this existing code like zoom. Okay, and we can use these keyframes. Zoom, transform, default scale is 1. We can scale it to 1.5. okay, now we can see that something is missing, right? It's looking broken, right? We had opacity, but right now once we add the zoom effect, the opacity is missing. We have the zoom effect, but we have the scaling effect, but the opacity is missing. This is because transition group attaches its CSS to the immediate to the children's. So here the children is slide image, and if it's attaching the CSS its CSS properties, then that means it already has animation effects attached to it, right? So we are not able to attach one or more than one animations to an element in this way, right? So the workaround is to have another div element. We'll have class as slide parent will have key. We will move this key to parent and we'll see we have animation duration of 1 second for zooming. We have a few problems. Right? Zooming effect is good. 0.03 will be a good effect. .03. In order to avoid this overflow, we can introduce overflow properties in our parent. So this involves X and Y, right? We have the zooming effect right now, but we have this some irritating movements, right? So in order to overcome that, we'll add width and height to it. If you look at this image, we can see a little bit of jumping at the end. It jumps back. Roof at the end of animation, it jumps back. Here, it's jumping back. And it's jumping back. So in order to fix this, we need to use animation fill mode. Forwards. What this will do is this will stop the animation at the end of the animation duration, right? Towards the end of the animation duration, and it will remain at the ending position. So this is what we want. Okay, now I think our slider program is complete. We have completely implemented the controls and the controls here, right? And it's responsive too. It's mobile friendly. So I think this session is complete. I hope you understood this code and it was useful to you. Kindly leave a comment if you have any queries. Don't forget to like and subscribe.